Hello everyone, I greet you in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas, and today we have a very interesting video to react to. In fact, it's a question that the Christian asked Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, and then he asked him that why is it that Hamsrat Osman burned the original Quran? So why should they say that the Quran is preserve? I believe that this is going to be a very interesting one. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's thought or opinion or even religion, but this is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this, all of us are going to learn from some of the things that Sheikh Ahmed Deedat will be saying concerning the question that was posted to him. So guys, without any further ado,
may I put this as a point of correction?
And then hear his response.
It is well known that the third Caliph of Islam, Uthman, ordered all conflicting copies of the Quran to be burnt during his reign, and he arbitrarily decided that Hafsa's edition was the authentic one. That is, it's one of Muhammad's wives. The final authentic Quran was determined not by Allah's decree, not by the Prophet of Islam, but by the discretion of a fallible man. Bukhari reports the burning of all other versions of the Quran and establishes Hafsa's edition by Uthman in Al-Hadith, Volume 3, page 708. Point of correction.
Thank you. Can you see, my dear brothers and sisters, it's a sickness. Can you see the sickness that has got them? 1.5 hours, we showed it to you. Count them now physically. Unless you are blind, you ask somebody else. And you don't have to know Arabic. I'm telling you, you don't have to know Arabic. Why don't you do it yourself? It won't take you 5 minutes. The Quran is here. While the other people are asking questions, why don't you check up and see what I have told you is true or not? Chapter 50, chapter 42. But no. You must come out, you have the last word to make your criticism. I said, now, whatever and however the Quran was compiled, you take the Quran and the proof is there. Allah Bari Ta'ala tells you, God Almighty tells you in the Quran, it is His job to protect it from any type of interpolation, any type of addition or deletion. So you count them now. Surah Qaf, count how many Qafs there? You say 57. Right. If they had somebody added something, the count won't be there. If somebody had lost out something, Usman lost out something, the count would have gone off. Alif Lam Mim, Alif Lam Mim. Again, how many times? 7 times Alif Lam Mim surahs. Such a simple thing. Why don't you count the Alifs and the Lams and the Mims? And you see whether Osman missed out or Hafsa missed out or who missed out. So when you see that today, after 1,400 years, you, according to your God-given intelligence and your eyesight that God has given you, unless, as I said, you are spiritually blind, spiritually jaundiced, you can't see it. Here is a test being given to you now, a visual miracle. That is this God's work, handiwork, or Muhammad's? And if Osman lost out anything or Hafsa lost out anything, you would have found it here. That is what you have to do. Produce what is missing.
Well, that's a very interesting video by Sheikh Ahmed Deedat. Of course, we have listened to him, and then we have heard the response he gave concerning reasons why Hamsrat Osman burned the original manuscript of the Quran to the one that is generally being used, you understand, nowadays. Now, he spoke about, you know, the vow of pronunciation, and then also the propagation of Islam, and then how people begin to embrace the religion. So it now become a thing of importance for them to have a particular way of interpreting it, so that people can use that, in a sense, as a basis whenever a particular thing is being asked, in a sense, concerning, in a sense, the Quran. Then they can be able to make references to that very original version of it. And that was his reasons why he feels like other versions should be burned. And that's why he went on to make example with English words such as divorce, where therefore others pronounce it as divorce. Okay, they both mean the same thing, but then to others they may not maybe comprehend some of these things, and then being the reasons why they feels like, since over there as the Arab they can decide to write like the bed he was talking about, the BD like the shorthand, right? Then others may not understand this as that, so they decide to feel like, oh no, let's have a particular standard of doing it, and then that is why they did what they do. Right now, if you look at it in a sense, Ahmed did that in a sense pronunciation, you bear with me that this is not as far different from how the Bible was translated to English and then to also other languages. Some of those things in a sense were done purposely that people who accept in a sense Christianity can understand the religion. That was just the main reason, even though at the cost of it resulted for a lot of, in a sense, mistakes, a lot of errors, in a sense, come in at the cost of trying to propagate it. If you look at it in a sense in this angle, you bear with me that it was not intentional that some of those errors and then the mistakes, in a sense, are supposed to be there, but very unfortunate they are there, right? Same is also applicable to how the Quran was being, in a sense, translated in a sense to that very particular version that Othman in a sense recognized as the standard. Now, the truth about it is, of course, we do not have access in a sense to some of the versions of the Quran that we are born. So if you understand, you go anywhere, I don't think that we can be able to have access to it, and even the original form. And then that's why I see Ahmed that was making reference to, if you need that very particular one, then you have to go, because it's being preserved in a sense in Turkey, because it says instable, which means in a sense Turkey, right? That's when you can be able to like have access to it. So the reasons why I am saying so is that, of course, I'm fully aware, of course, at the moment I'm beginning to study the Quran, and the truth is I have not gone too far, so I can't be able to be quoting some references or some of the things that I have seen. But then when you look at in the Quran chapter 4, that's Surah Bakari, that was talking about God preserving, you understand, his word, and that is why it was not, or is not, you understand, being corrupted, right? So reasons why I'm saying so is that we don't have to say that because, you understand, the Quran, you understand, meet up the standard mean that is good and then other ones in a sense are bad. If you look at the second explanation of Ahmed that it was better, but if you look at the first question that was asked, that's the first Christians that asked him, you'll see that he was talking about being blind, you are blind and all those things. But then when you look at the second way of him explaining it, at least it was literally in a sense clear for everyone to be able to understand. I hope that some of you also understand some of the things, in a sense, that being the reasons why the Quran, you understand, was changed to that particular version that everyone is being used. But then it seems like Othman, of course, in trying to do his compilation, I do not know if this Hamzat Othman is the same as Othman who compiled, you understand, the Quran. I don't know if, you understand, is the same person or they are two different people entirely. But then it seems like I have to look into some of this video, and then we'll look at some of the things that other people do, because I know that Aisha contributed a lot in writing of hadith. That's when we're talking about the Surah Bakara. That's why I says that I have not gone in depth, in a sense, into the Quran, and I don't want to make some references so that maybe probably I don't misinterpret some few things. But then I just want you to know that, of course, at the moment I'm studying the Quran, and gradually when the right time comes, of course, I'll start making references and pointing out some certain things in the Quran. I know that a lot of you have thought an opinion concerning this, and I want you to drop it at the comment section. Let's all learn from one another. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, you should like, share and subscribe. If you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video.